Hello, everybody. How are we all today? Hopefully, everybody can hear me okay. Welcome to Wacky Weekend. First one for the month. Pinching a punch for the first day of the month. Yeah. Oh, for you over there.
Yeah, it is.
Second day for me. I'll just say a quick hello to everybody.
From Wollongong, it's already Wacky Weekend.
Yeah, g'day, Thomas. How are you, buddy? Welcome to see you. Ken Amos, Randall Ellison, Hot Dog Pilot Andy, John Benicki. How are you, buddy? Welcome in board, and to the others that are on the side. Well, obviously, others will most probably join in. Hopefully, be a quick show today. Sorry to everybody. I've been quiet for the last couple of weeks. Things hasn't been well for me here. Just going through my ordeal and dealing with demons up in here, and a few other things. My mojo's just totally gone. I've got no interest in anything at the moment. So, and of course, a lot of you guys know that since last, September, October, I haven't really been doing no posting on the internet, on YouTube, because of the dramas I'm having with my case from the other party's insurance company. And of course, that's killed my routine. Now, with that killing my routine, my mental status is just going downhill. It gave me something to do, but now I've got nothing to do. I'm basically got to sit here and twiddle my thumbs. And it's frustrating. I'm actually supposed to be stateside. I'm supposed to be there next to my buddy there, Anthony, tapping him on his bored head from behind after being in Amherst, but it hasn't happened. And amongst a lot of other things, of course, being stuck and cooped up at home, just within this area, sucks. If I go out, you don't dare go out, because if I go out, I'll be like, "Oh, you're remarkably recovered. Are you doing all this? So there's nothing wrong with you."
Right.
So, sorry, I'm having my little rant at the moment, but I am pissed off.
We need to vent.
Be blunt. I'm pissed off, to be blunt. A person in Longbow Jail doesn't get treated like this. They get, even though they're locked up every night, or at least they get looked after to a certain degree. I'm having problems underneath I'm weeping a lot underneath the armpits. G'day, Jason. And particularly underneath the right shoulder, it's stinging pain. I'm still fighting with my insurance company to go and see the specialist in regards to it. I'm biting the bullet. I'm going to go and pay that myself, and then when we come to court, which I can see it going, they can bloody pay for it. To get his sisters around the house, the guy that's supposed to be coming to do my lawns every 2 weeks comes over every 8 weeks. So I had a jungle at the front, and of course I don't have a rabbit to eat the weeds down. And just the yard looks putrid. I wanted the weeds pulled. All he's done is gone around and sprayed the weeds.
Well, I do a lot of things for you, Artie, but I'm not flying Australia just to mow your lawn and do your weeds.
Once a fortnight, once every 2 weeks. No, but you understand. But when you ask for weeding and to do care of the garden and whatnot, is you don't spray the weeds. Because the weed's still going to dry off and stay in there. That's good.
No. Artie, you got to smoke it. You smoke the grass, you smoke the weed. It probably feel better too.
That's what I'm
or
doing.
at least mellowed.
I'll get plenty of sniff of the weed coming over from the community housing just on the other side of the paddock there.
Just as a PSA, if there are young children out there, we do not condone or endorse the uses of any drugs, recreational or otherwise. If there are no kids there, do what you want. Who cares?
Hang on.
Just don't get behind the wheel of a car.
We weren't talking about drugs. We were talking about weeds in the garden. We were smoking weeds in the garden, remember?
Yeah.
The grass in the garden.
Yeah, that's exactly what we meant. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
There are just some people who might get confused, so we have to explain it for them and cover it for them.
And of course, the ball and the socket here is giving me grief too. I'm due to go and see that specialist in another couple of weeks. Probably another injection again. But of course, that's killed my mojo in going in the training room. I wanted to get so much done in the last few weeks, but then again, the weather hasn't been really all that good. We've had some wicked, wild storms here at nights, even during the day. Last Sunday, I think it was last Sunday, or what it was last week.
Hello, Monsville.
G'day, Monsville. We had a nice... Yeah, it's right. That's exactly right. It's all natural, Jason. We had some wicked, wild electric storms here.
Hey, George Washington grew it.
Oh, yeah. Look at him. It made him happy. Apparently you're supposed to be making better decisions.
Look at the picture on our $1 bill. You know he was on something.
Oh, yeah. And it's green, too.
George, what color do you think our money should be? Green, man. Green. And make it look like Leafs around the corner.
Yeah. Well, g'day, Kyle Stevens. How are you, buddy? But, I mean...
Hi, Kyle.
We all know how randomly the electric lightning strikes randomly. Well, I had a nice little... I think I might have mentioned it on your last show, but the lightning struck the phone pit. Like all our phone lines here is underground. And the lightning struck the pit. And of course, I still got copper wire coming from the pit outside into the house. So what's happened is the power's come up through the router, bang, blew up the router and blew the little power pack.
That's right.
I think I mentioned it, yeah.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, so finally got everything going. I've got this new router. It seems to be working pretty good. I think
you're still on. I actually spent part of last night and all of today working on my layout. I actually did work on my layout.
What, you vacuumed it?
No. We're talking work. As in, my back is sore, my shoulders are sore, work.
Whoa.
Hey, there's Randall.
G'day. Yeah, he's been here. So you actually done some work?
Yeah. I took all my turnouts.
Yeah.
In the one section, got rid of them all. I have got stacks of turnouts here. Oh. I've got so many turnouts and switches here. Oh, that I took out today. All these turnouts. I'm going to have to find somebody who wants them.
Oh, you got enough there to make another yard.
Some still have the motors in them. They just don't have the decoders. I kept the decoders and put them in. But I replaced these all with double slips. I was talking about that last week on my live stream and mentioned it a little bit yesterday, but last week I talked about it. But yeah, I have taken out a ton of double slips. And the nice thing is for every double, because
G'day, Steve.
to change lanes, I had these set up like this.
Yeah.
So basically it's double the length. So if I wanted to move a train from lane 1 to lane 2, went through the points. And I got talked in. I've been talking about doing this for a while because aesthetically I didn't like it because the trains would zigzag really harsh through them. And Jean Ricard told me about double slips and putting double slips in to make it a smoother transition. And so I took out 8 turnouts and put in 4 double slips. And what it did was it shortened the space. It cut it in half where all the turnouts were.
Yeah.
It brought it all in. I have a nice straight line coming off of my turnout coming in. But it opened up this area where when I first built this layout, I wanted to build a river scene. The Weser River, which is a big river, the town of Bremen is on the Weser. But when you go from Delmenhorst to Bremen, you cross over the Bremen. I even bought railroad bridges to build it. And now I have cleared enough space. I can actually build that river scene. I'm not going to be doing it anytime soon because I'd have to take out a whole bunch of track, cut it all back to make room to cut and then drop down a bit to make the Weser River.
But while you're at it, but then again, your back needs to recover, doesn't it?
No, it's, I've got that crawl space and it became harder to get to because I got a bunch of stuff packed in the back and then I've got this 00 layout down here. So it was a little awkward going through, but I've got them all in. And the thing is, by reducing all these turnouts, it freed up a bunch of decoders. So what did I do? I took those decoders and I put them on the turnouts on the parking area where I park all my high-speed trains.
Yeah.
So now that's all digital. So now if these were already digital. The where the turnouts were, those were already digital, but the ones in the parking area. So if I wanted to move a train out, I had to go do it manually and then stand there with my, one of my handhelds or smartphone and, direct the train and then manually switch.
I find a disadvantage about DCC and having digital control points, the turnouts. You get bloody flat.
I suppose so.
Yeah. G'day, Steve. Peace out. By the way, what's this
Steven.
building a truck? It's easy to go out and buy one, don't you?
I had not heard of it or seen it, and he went to place and the old 70s TV show Emergency.
I used to love
station, the fire truck and the Dodge EMS truck. That was amazing stuff.
That was station 51 or something, if I remember rightly, wasn't it?
So it's all in. I spent hours because I had to completely redo sections of the track, changing the algorithm, and because since I've had a couple little things that my layout worked, but aesthetically in the brain, they kind of bothered me. Things weren't exactly straight. So I took advantage of it and said, well, I'm going to fix this while I'm taking all this track out and doing it.
Well, that's the thing. Like, there's a few things that I've been wanting to do in my layout too, but I just gone brain dead. Got to head out.
All right. Take care, Jason.
Oh, you got to hate. I'll try, buddy. I will try. Just the way things are, I even missed my buddies.
Hey, Tammy.
Anthony's. G'day, Tammy. How are you? I missed his show for the last 2 weeks. I mean, that's how bad things have been. I missed my buddies' live streams in the morning. And it's at Delphi Junction. How are you? I mean, and that's bad. If I'm missing his show in the morning,
Well, hi, Pete and Sue in the background.
well, I got up out of bed yesterday morning after the painkillers and that wore off. I didn't get out of bed till 10:30, 11 o'clock, and I'm like, oh shit, I missed it again. And then, of course, I just gone pretty much dead on the internet. I haven't been talking to anyone or communicating with anyone. My bad, I know. And the worst thing is, I just sitting around and doing basically nothing, apart from playing with my new toy. If anyone, actually, the last stream, I had that little cubed little computer. Let's see if I can. No, it won't play it far enough. I've got this little cube computer. And I've been putting it through its paces. There's a game that I've been wanting to play, and I've been playing that on it. Basically maxing it out to see how she goes, and she does better than what my new laptop does. Surprise, surprise. But I'm coming to, because it's going to run the layout in the back room, because I haven't got much space in the back room for a big tower computer set up like what Anthony has. Excuse me. And I have to say too, Tammy, as long as you got home soon, I'll get to call you too in the next few days. Geez, that looks good.
Yeah, it's like I said, it shortened it way down, and it's just
it
a
does
nice
reduce space.
The
only problem that I'm finding, and it's not so much an issue with these computers, it's something I've got to work out with the train room, particularly with the processor in this. When it's hooked up to the internet, Windows 10 and Windows 11 uses up a lot of memory. And then by its wisdom in its system decides, I'm going to start looking for the internet. Oh, your internet's not connected. I'm going to send you out this information and warn that, hey, you're not connected to the internet. And of course, while it's doing that, everything else starts to crash around it. It's throwing up Legos. So, I've been trying to play the game on that computer with that little one, but all of a sudden, I'm looking for, the internet decides, I'm going to start updating your system now. The reason why my new laptop doesn't work properly, which I want to use as a backup, is Windows, and that runs on Windows 11. It uses nearly 80% or 90% of its memory RAM. So you can't really do anything. That's just the operating system using that and trying to update itself. It's like, no, I don't want you to update yourself. I want you to update once a week. And that's on a Monday morning or Sunday night, Monday morning when I'm not using the computer. That is exactly mindful. It's not so much the internet. It's not so much the internet. Since I've got the new modem, my internet's been running fine. It's just the Windows.
all the Windows updates, yeah.
The operating system that actually stuff things up.
Yeah, because depending on how old it is, when you get it, it's like, oh, you missed this update, so we got to do this update. Okay, now that you've got that update in, we got to update this update. Now we got to add this update. I've had 3 Windows, internet updates. So, Windows Explorer, or whatever it is, Edge, Microsoft Edge. I've had 3 Microsoft Edge browser updates in the last 5-6 days.
Seaboard optical fibre. I don't know. I'm still on copper. Since I changed the modem over to a new one, not supplied one, it's run a lot better, even my Wi-Fi. But when I was using this laptop that I'm streaming from now, when I was in the back room and running the train layout on, when it started updating itself, like I'm doing a live stream and running the train on it, it used up all the memory and everything else for the train layout, the program to work. So then all of a sudden, it doesn't change the turnouts the way it's supposed to. The program won't work because it didn't send out the information in time, or there's missing parcels of information that the decoders or the computer set to the command station to do.
Right.
So now what I'm going to do is this box, and the next when I get motivated, I'll start feeling a bit better. Plus, it's been a really stuffy hot in the back room. I'm going to mount this into. Go get him, Tammy. Thumbs up, or get Tammy's wooden spoon. And then I'm going to see how it goes, because I really don't want to. Because we're talking about double slips. The double slips that I've already got up the top, where the main station scene is, I don't really want to change it. Goes on Saturday. You never bring Anthony. I wouldn't mind. I'm still under house arrest. I can't really go far. But yeah, I mean, they want me to. I mean, I can get the free upgrade to my system once more. But my plan at the moment is $70, which I'm just making ends meet with that. But they want to up it to $90. And I'm like, no. No, I'm happy with what I've got, but eventually I will have to have it. But I mean, I'm going to try to hold off as long as I can until they say, right, the free period is coming to an end. Once the free period comes to an end, before it does, then I'll get it upgraded. I'm doing that. Oh, yeah, I don't want to get that wooden spoon, Tammy. Just the way she holds the wooden spoon is scary enough. It's not so much the boost. It's not so much the booster on the internet. The modem's good. The new modem that I've got is working pretty good. I've got no problems with it. Okay, Anthony's doing something.
I'm just messing around.
Oh, look, he's playing with it. He's doing more than me. But if I don't,
well, like I said, that's the new streamlined with the double slips, and I've had to do some learning. Like when I had turnouts there, if I had a train on track 1 and I wanted to move it to track 3, I just had to open one turnout from track 1 to 2 and one turnout from track 2 to 3.
Yeah.
With a double slip, I have to do one extra step. I have to, for example, if I want to take a train that's on track, it would be 301, because that area there, that's called zone 3. So all the addresses are 3. So the first one coming from the parking area, which is behind the flag, and then comes out onto the main layout. So there's 4 double slips and then a regular turnout. And the thing is, you have to, I have to control this on the correct screen.
They're invisible lights, Andy. They're invisible lights.
Like if I want to go from track 1 to track 3, I have to turn on the double slip. I got to activate this. I got to turn on the double slip, and that now says that the curves are open and not the straights. I want to go straight through that one, but then the lane I want to change. So if I want to go on 3-on-1, I have to open that one, where I used to have to just open 1. Now I have to open 2. Open the curves up.
Question.
And then I have to remember to shut them both when I'm done.
On your system there, Anthony, can you do a schematics of
Yes.
your...
I could do a schematic. I could do a track layout diagram.
Yeah.
But I've never gotten around to doing it.
Oops. Yeah, it's not me.
I've never gotten around to doing it. But there is a track diagram on here which you can design and put all the track in and show the turnouts in the proper relationship, correlation to them. If that's what you were asking, I hope I didn't misunderstand what you were asking.
Yeah, it's just that when you've got the schematics on your actual system, you can actually go, right, okay, I want to turn that one, and it lights up what your rat does. Because I know with some of the schematics on some of those European systems, they're there to do it where you can actually go, right, that's the plan. It's not my system that I'm using, but it's actually built in your central command station, if you know what I mean.
Right. Yeah. And Andy asked me if they have lights. Yes, they have lights. And I actually, for the first time ever, I had to actually drill drop holes to run the wires.
Hang on.
Am I echoing? I probably am. Hopefully that fixed that.
I just had to turn on the environmentally friendly air conditioning system on.
Yeah, I think I had some sort of echo thing. But I was just making sure it was off. Okay, so yeah, so it makes it, I have to learn to go, obviously when I had a train go from lane 1 to lane 2 or lane 1 to lane 3 or track 1 to track 3, I knew I had to then close the turnout and make it go straight. But now it's multiple. I never had to worry about the lane I was putting it on. Now I have to worry about the lane I'm putting it on. So once I move a train from like 301, that's lane 1. 301 is lane 1.
Yeah.
So if I want to go, like I was demonstrating, if I want to go from lane 3 to let's get on the right page. Where are we? There we are. Yeah, if I want to go to lane 3 or lane 1 to lane 3, I have to open the curve from lane 1, so it will then go down to 2. But then to have it come on to 3, I have to curve track 3 as well. But once it's on track 3, I have to turn around and turn that back off. So now it'll go straight on track 3 next time around. Otherwise, it would go on to 4 or 5, whatever is listed as open. So the curve puts it on the lane or off the lane, and then the straight keeps it on that lane. I always say lane. I should say track, track 1, track 2, track 3.
One thing I like about those double slips that you got, it's a shame that they don't make them any bigger. I can't remember if Roku does or not, because I remember back in the late 70s when I was in Europe, they had double slips like that. Now they're more generic around the world, even Europe, that I've noticed. Because with those ones there, they can be set as permanent crossovers,
right,
or diverging, those ones there. With the Pico ones and the modern day ones, you got to make sure that they are thrown the right way so they don't derail. Like you can have a figure eight working with them, or you can have trains running on a double circle, basically.
Yeah. Although I don't think these are that small, but it cuts the space used from the turnouts in half. Now the thing is, I'm actually going to be putting up a video sometime tomorrow explaining some of this, but this is no different. This is absolutely no different than if you were putting a how if you have a layout, whether you are DC or DCC, you have a point, a turnout, a switch, whatever you want to call it. And there are people that get to go, well, this part's actually the turnout, and this part. We just call it a turnout. Okay. You then connect a motor. Now, you either run that motor with a wire to a button that you build onto your board, your operation board, mimic board, I think it's called. And then you press that button and open it or close it. And you have a green light or a red light, or maybe you have a yellow light and a blue light, however you set it up. Okay. And then if it's digital, you run it into, if you somehow did it digitally or did it DCC, you run it into your controller and operate it. This is no different. This is absolutely no different. This is not a techno thing. I have a control panel from my control system, which I can operate from my computer. So instead of hitting a button on a mimic board, I hit a button on my computer.
Yeah.
But my Merklin track system has one advantage, as I've shown many times, is that I don't have to put the point motor, whether it's an Insulfrog or, Juice Frog, whatever the various types of point motors people buy. I don't have to do that in this system. All I do is have the turnout and, like this. Now, this is a turnout. It's not a double slip. But the motor fits under here. The motor is a flat little pin switch. And then you have a wire that comes off the motor and either goes to your powering source on your mimic board, or however you run it to your mimic board, or it's attached to a decoder that also fits underneath here. And then it's plug and play. You tell your computer, you tell your control system, I have a turnout with a decoder. The decoder's address is 301, and boom, it's in there. So it's actually easier than any other way to do, but you got to put up with the the pre-bedded track. But it makes everything super easy. So it really is not a terrible thing. It's actually a relatively, it's digital trains for dummies, and so that suits me just fine.
Yeah, but the whole thing is, like when I was talking about the size of the turnout or of the double slips. Mm-hmm. So with those ones there, I mean, they're okay for the European stock because European stock will go through basically anything. But when you start looking into some of the Australian outline, American outline, because of the radius in those double slips, they're actually quite tight, which I have found. But hey,
let's put it this way. The Merklin Union Pacific Big Boy goes through those without a problem.
Yeah, but it's a European-made engine. It will go through anything. It's a European-made train, European-made model, Merklin, Trix, Roco, Lima, majority of those stuff, even the Hornbill range, even their big stuff will go through that because they're designed to do 18-inch radius curves. But when you start playing with the American outline and the Australian outline, particularly what my Tangara sets, they won't go through it.
I mean, I'd have to go I'd have to get some like American MTH models because MTH did make 3-rail for American system and see.
I'm just going from my past experience.
But you haven't done C-Track.
No, I haven't done C-Track. I did. Fleischmann used to have them.
That's Fleischmann. But still,
the Fleischmann used to have those those double slips as well.
I mean, a lot of everybody has double slips.
Yeah, but they had them to the similar size. Even Roko's got them. I tried the Roko one on my layout.
Although I'm not personally impressed with Roko Track anyhow. They took over. When Roko merged with Fleischmann and became the HO, they took Fleischmann Track and made it Roko Track for HO. But they also kind of cheapened the molds a bit. Pico, PIKO Track for Pico trains and Roko Track, depending on, because they each have two different. Basically, they're basic and then they're fancier stuff. But even like Roko's fancier track is not as good as the old original Fleischmann Profi track.
Yeah, well, that's what I was talking about. Like the old Fleischmann Profi track, like I used to have them in one of the old places, and with back then with a lot of American stuff, they were struggling to go around it. So to do it nowadays, I mean, it'd probably still be the same problem. It's the radius actually within the turnouts. If you're doing a
right, which is basically
a circle,
which is radius 2, which is about 20 inches.
Oh, so they made it a little bit bigger then.
At least for radius 1 in the American system is about 16 to 17 inches, and it goes up 3 inches. So radius 2 is about 20 inches.
18 to 20, about that,
18, 20, and then radius 3 is like 22, 23. Yeah. Radius 4 is 24, 25, and then radius 5 is 26,
well, 27. At the moment, look, I really are trying to put off from changing that turnout that's on to take that double slip out. So I'm trying to cheat with the work that I need to do on the layout. If this it'll probably happen after Wednesday, but hopefully after Wednesday I'll get motivated to get into the back room and try out this new little computer. If everything runs right, I can leave it. I'm just going to modify the track plan a little bit. I'm just going to swap out the two lines. One that's supposed to be in the flyover to go into the station is now going to be a passing loop. And a passing loop is going to end up being into a little staging yard for my little 630s. Yeah, so do I, Pete. And what I tend to done is I've gone basically to save a lot of issues. When I first started, I went to the radius 3 and 4. Or radius 4, more like it, But I'm really struggled space-wise. That's the thing. That's right, Andy. Well, that's what happens. But I mean, I'm not getting rid of a lot of my stuff because I have got a lot of trains, but that's years and years and years collecting for that, as everyone says, that dream layout, that ideal layout that you're going to build. which will give me a little bit more room. Look at that. Doesn't that look good?
Yeah, see how straight that is? So you don't get the big zigzags.
Yeah.
That is what is aesthetically pleasing about it.
Yeah. I'm not overthinking it too hard there. Steve, it's just the geometry, how things gotta sit together and work. But I mean, you see it I've seen it in the real world, particularly in the steelmill here, where the radiuses in there are different. Actually, not even steelworks. But the radiuses do play an important part. Where remember where we stopped at down there at Bombo, Anthony, when you first came in to that first beach you went to?
Yeah.
There's a quarry just around the corner from there, which is the ballast quarry and gravel quarry. Now,
Right.
most of our engines actually fit. There's a I've actually filmed there where the ballast train. There's actually a ballast train that goes in to load up. On that curve, there's which was the old road.
Oops.
All the engines 82 downwards will go through that curve. Now you start getting the big NRs and some of the new big engines that they got, they won't make around that curve. They're actually derailed because the radius is just a little bit too tight.
Oopsie.
But mind you, that track was laid there in place in that geometry. That was laid there in the very late 1800s, early 1900s. So, but so far, with my European stock and some of my Australian stock and some of the smaller American stuff, it's been running around good. G'day, Northern and Southern Rail fan. Welcome, buddy.
Hey, Delmarva. Well,
Delmarva.
not Delmarva anymore.
Oh, he's changed his name. Stop doing that. I'm already confused in the head. He's going to confuse me even more now. But yeah, also, I mean, we had those stores, but it's been way too hot here to go play around that room. And look, we've been hitting 40 degrees, 42 degrees Celsius here the last 2 weeks as well, which has been with the rain and the humidity and everything else. That back room was just like a steaming pot, basically. Scott Sorrell, g'day, buddy. Good morning and evening to you. So yeah, that's what the go is. I'm going to try to get in there, as long as I don't have any more discouraging news. I mean, I haven't even checked my emails in the last 2 weeks. That's how good I've been. It's just not fun when you start having mental issues and the depression and everything else. It's just no fun at all. I think the last time I was in the train room was Christmas time, just after Christmas, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. It was sometime in January.
Yeah. But as I said, I was supposed to be there tapping Anthony on the back of his board spot there. Oh well. I just hope I make it to Europe. I tell you what, if I don't make it to Europe in June, yeah, I'm not going to be a happy chappy. I'm not happy. Worse than that, Kyle. Worse than that at the moment.
Yeah, an Oedipal complex female dog, if we want to keep using euphemisms.
Yeah. Um, I've got all the material and components there. Don't know, it's supposed to, but I mean, I've got to do some work on it. And with them attacking me, with me trying to do some sort of relaxation, it just kills it.
Yeah. And if I can add one thing to that, and I hope nobody takes me being too brusque, the thing about manic depression, okay, is that manic depression doesn't make sense. You can be happy when everything else seems to be wrong, and when everything seems to be okay, you can be depressed. That's why it's manic. It's unpredictable, uncontrollable. And the first thing manic depression does is say, oh, you enjoy this? We're going to make you hate it. And there's no logic to it. Can't you just be happy? Or, hey, your model trains are supposed to make you happy. But the first thing it does is it gets into your head like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do it because something will go wrong and it'll make me upset. Something will happen and then I'll just feel even worse. I don't want to do it. I don't even have the energy or the desire to do it. That's the first thing manic depression does, is it attacks the things you enjoy and makes it so you don't enjoy them. And there's no rhyme or reason to it. That's why it's called manic depression as opposed to normal depression, because everybody gets depressed. But a manic depression is a chemical imbalance thing that some people are born with. And in some degree, it gets mixed with schizophrenia, where it can be socially induced.
I know, like one thing that I'm trying to avoid, which I know is that is quite in a gene pool from mum's side of the family, is suicidal depression.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to, I've already mentioned that to everybody, not just here, but to the professionals. I'm trying to not let it in the door, I'm trying to push it away, but the way you guys doing it, I'm going to end up that way.
Okay.
But you see, Monsville, because of this issue that's underneath my armpits, of course, when I get them both, it's worse. It stinks like hell. I mean, it smells worse than a King's Cross hooker that hasn't washed for a week or two or a month. I mean, it smells that bad. Even the little mouse decide, no, I'm gone. It's packed its bag and gone. It's too hot for it. It stinks so bad. I mean, I sleep at nights and just a whiff of it, just bad. G'day, Eric. How are you, buddy?
Hey, Eric, what's up? But this is one thing I'm learning now is when I do run a train through them and come all the way down before I back it back up through, I have to now learn to look up and go, okay, it's clear of the turnout, because I did that a few minutes ago. I started backing it back up, but two of the cars were actually still beyond the point, so they were still going back around and the other one started turning up. Oops. See, I've got to learn.
Oh, I did have a distraction. I was sitting on the front doorstep here watching
the King's Cross hooker.
Watch a King's Cross hooker, Scott says. It's exactly what it says, a King's Cross hooker. King's Cross here in Sydney is a red light district. Put two and two together and then they know what I'm talking about.
Because see, that's the problem. There's so many mutual names between Australia and the UK. When you say King's Cross, I'm thinking of the area and train station of London. And I'm sure that in the train station in London, you also have hookers.
Well, mind you, our King's Cross is an underground station. And as soon as you come out the escalators and get on the main street, yeah, they're everywhere there. Well, actually, there's not as many as what there used to be. They cleaned up a lot of it there. They try and cross the stop. But yeah, I mean, the way it is, I haven't even been able to go down the club for dinner. As a bit of a walk and a distraction because I'm just, if I can't stand the smell, what's it going to be like with the public? I mean, I know no one's going to sit around me, but I mean, I don't want to be like banned from the club because it smelled too bad. That's right. Oh, look, this is worse than beef and onion, Andy. It's worse than beef and onion. Can I hook you up with one? You want me to hook you up with a hooker? Man, before I hook you up with a hooker, I'm going to get a hooker, okay? I mean, no one's going to come to see me if you want Valentine's Day, so I might as well make myself happy. King's Cross in Sydney is an interesting place. That it is, Monsville, but I tell you what, when was the last time you were in King's Cross?
Professionally or visiting? No, I'm sorry. Oops.
Both. Yeah, when was the last time you were there, Monsville? Because I was there, was it last year or the year after when I had my right hand done, I think it was. When I had my when I had my thumb done.
Yeah. Hey, Peter, bipolar is not only you can go from happy to sad or sad to happy fast, but you have extreme highs and extreme lows. That's why it's bipolar, because you are one or the other.
Yeah. You can be nice or you can be a, what's the word?
Arse.
Yeah.
I think we shall use that word today.
Yeah.
The word for today, kids, is arse.
But I was, when I was at King's Cross over here, when I went to the thumb, because the hospital where I went to do it, it's only a day surgery. It's just down the road from the middle of King's Cross, basically. And it's all changed. It's actually clean. There's not so many. Oh, you won't recognise it, Monsieur. It has actually been cleaned up. Now, where the fountain side is, where the big fountain, so that's where the main hospital is, up towards there.
Well, that's like the Reeperbahn in Germany.
Yeah. They'd they only have the reduced the number of strip joints that they have in there now. They're not as many as what they used to be. Actually, I've got to say, the favourite cake shop they used to go to, there was a nice one by the fountain. It's gone. But yeah, they have cleaned it up. It's not as bad as what it used to be.
I forgot where I was. I'm practicing shunting.
Uh-oh.
I've never shunted before, but now I'm moving trains back and forth, doing a little shunting bit.
You know what we need to design and get made for you? We need to I think I sent you the link. There's a guy that had that chain driven index system for his trains.
Oh, right.
He picks it up.
Right.
And then it comes down to a spot and you can drive it on and off the trains without touching them. We need to come up with that sort of system into that to your right where you store your trains. Oh, look at this. People, he knows how to shunt trains. Yeah. Yeah, it's too slow now. Yeah, it is, Delmar. It's like a lift. It's sort of like a lift bridge, but what this guy's done, it's like a chain driven, but it's got like a track on it, and it works on an index system. And the trains would actually stack themselves up and say, "Oh, that's hurting." You know, you get a couple of you say you want to train like his railjet, for example. He'll drop that down the main line, drive it off, and put one of his ICEs or freight trains in there. You know, and that way he doesn't have to touch it. And the guy actually worked out a really, really good system. But mind you, he too had a lot of trains.
Did that wire suddenly get in the way again?
Pete, that's all related to the accident I had back in 2020. My hand's actually still got a lot of pain, in particular the right one. Tim's Bits and Pieces. Hello, welcome. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of pain, and your right hand isn't the best as what it used to be anymore. Cramps up and gets really pain. For those who actually don't know, have they experienced it, Tim? But when you used to get the cane across the hands, it's worse than that. I managed to go through the hour. So, thank you everybody for coming in. Nice chatting up to you. So you guys get the drift what's going on. Anthony, I've got us, and they got it stuck again. It's got to use more lube, Delmara. It's got to use a bit more lube.
No, it itself did not get stuck. The car behind it bounced and derailed, and I don't want to take it derailed through the point. So
taxi riders here, something like that. It is.
That's why I'm messing with them, trying to sort out any bugs that might be in the system.
Today's word is arse. We'll have to come up with another one for another 2 weeks. So anyway, Anthony, thanks again. Hopefully you can take over the show next weekend.
Yeah, I'll be on. I'm planning on doing my live stream Friday.
Okay.
I don't know how much I'll still be under the influence of some anesthetics, but I should be okay.
Right, let me know. You let me know if you are not up to it. Then I'll do that one.
No, I'll be good.
Yeah. Okay.
If anybody doesn't know, I'm having surgery on Thursday morning. I go in Wednesday night to prep, and then Thursday morning I do surgery.
Oh, come on! They're shoving a camera up your butt.
No, they're not. They're not shoving. They are shoving little grinders and pluckers and all sorts of little things. They're going to be making incisions and cutting.
Yeah,
things
but they're
out
still going to. But they're going to shove the camera up your butt first.
Oh yeah. They're going to have a camera and other things with it. I'll be unconscious, so I don't care.
It's not going to be this big. It's going to be.
This is not your standard. This is not your standard. This is not your standard colonoscopy. This is more than a scopy.
Now, where's Goliath?
No, I'll be here. I'll be fine, guys. I'll be fine. It's minor surgery, but it's surgery as opposed to just a scope.
Before you go in, yeah, there was some Anthony on drugs. Yeah, just ask the surgeon and plenty of lube. But anyway, best of luck on your surgery there, and hopefully everything goes well.
Yep, they gotta check to see if all this stuff is cancerous.
Well, hopefully not.
Yeah, tell me about it.
We don't need that. I mean, we already lost one person this
I don't need to be. I don't need to be competing with my friends that have all died from cancer. That's something I don't need to join in.
Yeah, well, I've got to go and do my free bowel screening done too to make check on that. Talking about that. But anyway, thank you again, people. Yeah, it's lifted my spirits up a little bit. Hanging out with you guys is fantastic. I miss hanging out with you. Hopefully, this all gets sorted out sooner than later, so we can get back to some sort of normal self.
Yeah, indeed.
All right. So, Andy, I'll try to make your show later on. Andy's show's on tonight, Australia time, or in the morning for you Americans.
In the morning for us, afternoon for him, night for you. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. Okay, cheers and beers. Yeah, actually, I like that one, Tim.
Thank you all. Thank
Cheers
you all.
and beers. So, till next time, people, all the best.
Bits sound good.
Have fun and be safe.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.